What's going down, people? How you doing? TK Pryor coming at you, Mr. Finance today. Want to hit you guys with the simple information of what I call the evolution of change, because if you think about it, the order of things should have evolved to the point where change already happened. In other words, what I'm saying is it's almost as if someone intervened, or the consciousness of the community has risen to the point where enough people woke up to what should have already been. Because the power structure that's in place within our society, the government, the super rich people behind the government, I mean, they look at elitism as the way to go. They look at the fact that you are an animal that needs to be trained and told and learned in terms of what should be done. So they also feel a divine presence or divine order in which everything belongs to them, and you don't deserve, or you don't have the smarts to be able to make your own decisions. So at the rate in which humans have been trained to trained to what to do, you know, the rate in which the system has evolved, we should already be in a new world order. And what surprises me is that we're not. What surprises me is that we're not in the Hunger Games. We're not in the 1984. I'm surprised that they haven't accomplished their mission, because so many things have evolved within their system. So many things have basically been torn down within the morality of the human system. And it's almost as if, like I say, someone intervened, because the themes that they push, people accept. The control and the all-powerful money that they put in place pays for different types of civil liberties that disappear, and people accept it. I mean, everything that needs to be in place for the Hunger Games, for the New World Order, has been put in place. So the fact that we don't have some type of World War III as of yet, the fact that we don't have some sort of Project Bluebeam, the fact that we don't have the next geoengineered storm, the perfect storm, to allow executive orders and emergency procedures to kick in, is surprising, you know, because the public doesn't even know that there are emergency orders in place from Rex 84 forward to Agenda 21, now Agenda 360, where in the event of a natural disaster or emergency or a alien invasion or anything that threatens national security, martial law goes into effect, which they no longer use that term. Now they use emergency procedures. So you don't even know about the executive orders in place that create emergency procedures in the event of a natural disaster or a national emergency. So everything that needs to be in place to create the Hunger Games is in place. And honestly, I'm surprised that we're not already living in 1984, because the people have been lulled to sleep. You give them bread and circuses, and they're going to focus on just that. So it's a situation where the economy should have already collapsed. World War III should have already jumped off. The FEMA camp should already be occupied, because Halliburton already built and KBR already built them. So what is preventing the natural progression of this total control state is God. 8 different regions within the United States, or I should say districts, where the governors of each district report to one governor of that nation. I mean, how are we not already living in District 9, you know, or District 6? It's a surprise, because it seems as if talking about the subject doesn't motivate people's interest. So what if the economy doesn't crash? What can we do to prevent the economy from crashing, given the fact that runaway debt and massive printing is the only option available to maintain the system? So if the only thing you can do is continuously print money to maintain the Ponzi scheme, how do you prevent the Ponzi scheme from collapsing and falling or imploding in on itself? So it points to the proposed bill, HR, I think it's 6064. I might have that number wrong, but it's the new proposed bill that I talked to you guys about, that Trump is basically saying we should go back to a gold standard, saying that we need some sort of tangible asset to replace the government promissory notes, because all of the tricks that we've used up until this point to prevent the economy from collapsing has basically failed. I mean, think about it. 0 interest rates, quantum easing into infinity, quantitative easing until infinity, bail-ins, austerity measures. I mean, everything we've tried, right, has failed, or basically there's no more tricks left. So where does this lead? Where does this lead all of us, right? Do you wake up tomorrow in the New World Order? Do you wake up tomorrow in World War III? Well, the average American, you kind of support what the elite think. You know what I mean? You kind of accept what the elite say when they mention it. The average American is too fucking stupid to care about anything other than television. You know, there's a quote, I think it's by the CIA or J. Edgar Hoover, but it was saying that whenever the American public believes everything, or whenever everything that the American public believes is a lie, then that's when the state has won, right? So the average person is too fucking stupid. If you talk about what people want to hear about, it has to do with television, or it has to do with some sort of bread and circus. Ask the average person, when you watch my video and scroll past it or turn it off, ask yourself what's most important to you. What's the most important thing to you? Does it have anything to do with anything I'm talking about? That's probably why you're going to turn off this video. Because the average American, the most important thing is bread and circus. Feed me and entertain me, and don't talk to me about anything of any political, social, or economic relevance. Because I don't believe it, I don't care about it, and guess what? You welcome your slavery. Give them bread and circus, and they will welcome their slavery. So the chains are no longer around your feet, they've elevated to your mind, and you basically say that as a slave, at least I can eat on the plantation.